Hey, so Matt asked me, along with a lot of other people, to record a short video about what we're thankful for or grateful for to the game of baseball. So I'm going to kick off with everything. And I know it's cliche to say that baseball is life, but I guess for me, and probably a lot of other people, baseball really has been life or has been a large contributor to their lives. So I really am thankful for everything it's done for me and the influence it's had on my life, from the friends I've made to the places I've been able to travel, the mentors that I've had over the years who quite frankly have made me, not just as a former player and now a coach, but also even a man. And then my family as well. My parents were instrumental in the beginning of my career, being the taxi service that all the young people have from their parents, as well as their support. My wife, whom I didn't meet through baseball, but through a shared passion for performance sport, probably helped her to understand me a little bit more. And then, of course, now my children, and getting to bond through baseball as part of my relationship with them is a wonderful experience. Um, I suppose when you think about the reflections on life, or rather the role that baseball plays as a reflection of life, there are kind of, I guess, four things that I think of that stand out for me. And number one would be that what hard work means and what it takes. It takes what it takes. And there's that wonderful quote in A League of Their Own where Tom Hanks is explaining to Gina Davis's character that it is the hard that makes it great, because if it wasn't hard, everyone would do it. And I think that's such a true reflection of not just baseball but life, and I can't think of a sport that's better placed to teach that. The next one is that sometimes, no matter how hard you work, you're still going to lose. And again, that's another really important point to learn, and baseball teaches you that really early on. The value of being a good teammate, and also what it means to have good teammates. And then finally, because of the way baseball as a sport is structured, the importance and the skill required to be a pitcher or a hitter, you can be really good at one thing and still add value to your team. Of course, it helps to be a generalist, and there are going to be superstars like Mookie Betts and Mike Trout who just feel like they can do anything and everything. But the same token, there's going to be someone who can throw a ball really, really hard, and that's going to be enough to get them to the top of the game. There's going to be another player who can run fast, and that's going to afford them to be have a role on their team. Equally, you might not be the best player in the world, but if you can inspire children in your local community to pick up a glove and a bat for the first time and then stay in the game, then you've done a service to the sport that is almost immeasurable. So that's what I love maybe most about baseball, is you don't have to be good at everything in order to contribute to the sport and to your team. I know Matt wanted us to keep it short, but I'm going to try and rattle through these as quick as possible. I've got some thank yous for all the people that have made baseball what it is to me. So from the coaching side, I've got Margaret Borley, who I think everyone knows my relationship with Margaret and how important she was to me at Tunbridge Baseball. John O'Neill, who was my first Little League coach. Craig Savage, Paul Vernon, Vince Garcia, Ken Bowman, Stefan Rapaglia, Gary Roberts, and Trey Hendricks. And then, of course, also Drew Spencer. Not everyone may know this, but I actually played for Drew for about 3 or 4 days before my knees gave out. And that was an amazing experience for me and my career then, to get to experience to be coached by Drew. So that was awesome. And then also Alan Dean. Like you probably know Alan and I from our GB work together and our Smarter Performance baseball work. But Alan was my strength coach when I needed him most in preparation for the 2009 World Cup. So yeah, without Alan, I wouldn't have had that opportunity to play for GB at the highest level. For friends and mentors side, there's obviously Nick Carter and Alex Malahudis from Tunbridge, Josh Chetwynd, Jimmy Goethals, who was my mentor in college, Liam Carroll, Zach Grafser, Bill Holmberg. Unfortunately, we lost him last year, but he was a huge influence on me over the last 3 to 4 years. Tom Gillespie, John Boyd, Brad Marcelino. You can't say thank you if you don't mention Gavin Marshall. And then, of course, I also had a couple friends from university, my Menlo days, Scott Bowman and Ben Hicks as well. I also want to give a shout out to the GB family. I already mentioned Drew and several of the other coaches who were involved, but I really want to say thank you to the ops guys. Glenn Robertson, Rich Minford, Jordan Edmonds, Brian Lanoff and the work he does with the U12s, Ryan Turtle, and also Phil Edmonds, who was my operations manager during my tenure as the U18 head coach. Without them, nothing really happens. Like, flights don't get booked, hotels aren't sorted, and we always think about the X's and O's and the at-bats and the results on the ground, but it's the ops guys that really keep the machine running. So I want to do a big thank you to them. Obviously, a huge thank you to my family, my wife who continues to support me, my mum and dad who were there from the beginning, and then my brother George, who was the person I played catch with down the rec when it was chucking down rain in December over the Christmas holidays, when everyone else was having Christmas pudding and opening up extra presents, and we were down on the field playing catch. So big shout out to George. And then finally, I want to say thank you to the people who make stuff like this possible. Matt Mutton and the work you do at the British Baseball Podcast, the team at Batflits and Nerbs, and also everyone at Birds with Balls. And quite frankly, anyone who is a coach or a volunteer in British baseball, if it wasn't for you, none of this would happen. And so thank you for making British baseball stronger than it has been, and continues to be stronger than it ever will be, and will continue to grow and grow. And I couldn't be more excited to be a part of this community. So thanks to everyone, and I can't wait to see what we get done in the next 10 years, in the next 20 years, who knows, however long it takes. Can't wait to be on this journey with all of you. So thank you very much.